I'm at this conference because through Nia, we met at an environmental justice, reproductive justice convening, looking at the intersections of our two movements. And so I'm here to do some learning, to understand more about climate justice and really thinking about the impact on women's bodies and our communities. And so just really thinking about that as an intersectional approach for women's liberation and women's freedom.
And I'm here because it's really important to me that as we're having these conversations, we're making sure to talk about the intersections of race and class and also gender as it talks about the impacts of climate change, both the causes and effects on our communities.
Yeah. And so I think moving forward, next steps is to continue that learning and deep thinking. And I know that there's been some interest about maybe writing like a position paper together. I'm really interested about thinking, and I think definitely some of the work of some of our indigenous sisters about thinking about the body as the first environment. What does that mean? And thinking about our climates or environments as kind of the environments. I think oftentimes on this larger scale, on this macro scale, instead of thinking about the micro, macro, whatever, those words, you understand. So I'm really interested in thinking about that work, especially thinking about women's bodies and what it means and like the impact of climate change on our bodies.
And I think going forward, I'm really interested as the director of EJCC in figuring out how we hold the United States government accountable, whether we have a piece of domestic climate policy or not, and making sure that we're making good on promises that have been made to the world a long time ago, that we're dealing with the issues of the disproportionate burden that we've caused on the rest of the world in terms of the emissions around carbon, that we can take a large group of people of color, low-income people, and indigenous peoples to Copenhagen to say that from the capital to the COP, we are holding our government accountable and making sure that we are participating in an international arena in a way that is significant and symbolic and helpful in really mitigating the climate change situation.
Yeah, I think in particular, there's lots of talks about green jobs, but a lot of the jobs are, it feels like really gendered work in these industries that are really dominated by men. And so what does it mean? I'm thinking about black women, hairdressers, like what does that mean? What does it mean if we were to green that aspect of their lives, or even our communities, or daycares? Like thinking of the work that we often don't see, our involvement in many levels of the economy and in our lives. And so I think it's really exciting the conversations that we can have, and really how the voices that are really most impacted, the folks who are displaced, the caretakers in our communities, largely women, are a part of this conversation.